So in this video I'm going to be drawing a bunch of cute fluffy fox women in a variety of styles, and hopefully showing you how to go about drawing your own fox girls. This video will hopefully serve as a form of inspiration for you if you want to become a furry or whatever, or if you want to draw, I guess, alternative women. Or maybe you're just watching this because watching art videos is cool. Whatever the reason, I hope you enjoy this video. So first is a standard furry style. It's inspired by a combination of online art from the furry communities on DeviantArt and Reddit, and also some Disney. Though I'm not really trying to make these look like Disney, I'm just going with what my natural style is at this point. I suppose the proper thing to do would be to load up reference of real foxes and reference of real girls, though I'm comfortable enough with my art that I don't really need to look it up, though I suppose if I did, I might have more technically accurate work. When I sketch these out, I try to keep things relatively loose, as all artists do, but what I also do is erase, redraw, and resize parts of my art. One mistake I keep making while sketching is drawing things too large. I suppose I had it ingrained into me at some point that big eyes and a big head were always the way to go for appeal or whatever, but there's a proper balance that needs to be struck, where the features are large enough to be readable, but small enough to be properly proportioned. It doesn't have to be realistic, but it does have to make sense with the rest of the drawing, and look good in general. One thing I really like about foxes in particular is their striking color scheme, orange, brown, and white. They work well together, and having a color separation that starts at the face and goes down throughout the torso breaks up the design really nicely. It also fits with what actual foxes look like, though in real life the color separation is more subtle. One thing that's hard to get right is the hair, because I always have a hairstyle visualized in my head, but when I start to draw it, it sort of falls apart, and I often forget how to make it curve in the right areas so that the design actually works. Oftentimes every hairstyle I draw is a bit too round or too even before I make the proper adjustments. The hair also has to go around the big triangle ears that animal girls tend to have. And what's funny is that for this drawing, I actually forgot to give her ears, which is just as well since that's one of the bigger problems I run into when trying to give animal girls hair. Women in real life tend to have their hair covering their ears anyway, so I guess it's more true to life. The ears look like they could be properly hidden in this drawing, I think. Next we have a more cutesy style, where the fox girls have smaller noses and are more innocent looking, more adorable and cute. Naturally, as a result of this design choice, these fox girls are going to look a bit younger. From what I've seen, this is the sort of trope anime likes to use when they draw their women. In fact, in a lot of ways, anime girls are like if humans had the appeal of furries. And these fox girls I'm drawing are animals that have the appeal of anime girls. Appeal is a natural part of art, unless you deliberately want to make your characters ugly. But they can still be ugly in an appealing way, I guess. Anyway, to make these fox girls more kawaii, I gave them skirts and had them do a nya sort of pose. This puts them more into catgirl territory, but I wanted them to still be foxes, so I kept the color scheme the same, and I also tried to make the snouts a bit longer than a cat's would be, but it's hard to depict nose length when the character's head is facing the front. It was sort of awkward to draw the first full body drawing because this was my first full body drawing of the day, but by the second drawing I had started to loosen up considerably, which is what I needed to do in order to draw the caramel dancing pose. I sort of had to feel that one out. I kind of wanted to do that for the first drawing, but I ended up keeping one arm down because it was more natural that way. Also, I didn't do the shading because I had just done the coloring for 2 full body sketches in a row, and I was ready to call it done by that point. Now for this one I didn't focus on coloring because again I was kind of tired of polishing my drawings by this point and didn't feel like it was necessary. I mostly wanted to focus on being expressive. These fox girls are more classic Looney Tunes, Disney, Don Bluth stuff. The focus isn't being cutesy or sexualized, it's more about conveying ideas and emotions. This didn't take me as long, but weirdly enough it ended up being my favorite so far. I guess that means I should stop worrying so much about polishing my art. In fact, that's a huge problem I've always had to deal with since I started doing art. I feel like I have to finish everything, and a lot of it has to do with my infatuation with color and polish and line quality. But at the end of the day, the thing that communicates the most, and is often the most important, is those loose preliminary sketches that convey the basic idea. This is especially important when it comes to animation, because you kind of have to be loose and gestural, or else you don't get anything done, and everything ends up becoming stiff. So that's my lesson to everyone watching this video, and to me personally. I need to take my own advice. Just stay loose and try not to be so uptight all the time, and maybe you'll get more of your ideas out and you'll have a better idea of what you're capable of expressing. By the way, I like how the drawing in the top right turned out. She's such a drama queen. And last, but not least, a fully feral, 4-footed female fox. That's a string of F's if I've ever said one, which I just did. Anyway, I didn't feel like I had to prove anything substantial here, so I just left it to this sketch. One thing I noticed while drawing it is that I was able to get away with long legs and absurdly small feet. And it actually worked well. This is actually a thing in a lot of animated movies. Sometimes the shapes are exaggerated to the point of absurdity, way beyond even what I drew here, but it works because it's a stylized representation of reality, and unless you're one of those artists, the feet are not going to be the main focus of the drawing. Also, I drew her sticking her tongue out as an alternate version of the drawing to make up for the fact that I only did one of these. Maybe I'll do more, maybe I won't. Either way, here you go. She's pretty cute, isn't she? Anyway, that's the video. I hope you had a good time with this one, even though it's a little short. I wanted to just give you guys the essence of what it is to be a furry, or something. This isn't even really a tutorial, though if you already knew the basics of drawing, hopefully this at least serves as some kind of inspiration. I don't consider myself to be the best artist, but the thing about art is that it's all about self-introspection. There's a good chance that not very many good artists think they're all that great, but people love them anyway. So yeah, thank you for watching, and remember to stay cute.